Bringing these out, it reminds me, look at the F2H here.
Yeah.
And one of the projects in Atlantic City was in the F2H, which was generally considered slightly, for some reasons I don't quite figure out, knowing both airplanes, I don't know why, a little better airplane. Maybe it was politically better for McDonnell or something, I don't know. But they were trying to extend the range for this Russian penetration thing. The whole idea of that long distance at low altitude type stuff, they're trying to get some more range on the F2H. And this is an F2H 2P, which means the nose is longer. It's a photographic airplane by purpose. So the nose is a little longer than the standard F2H. But anyhow, they were trying to extend the range, and the F2H has a small barrier protection right in the nose right here, that when you put the gear down, this little thing comes up out of the nose and stands straight up like that with kind of a hook on it. And that was to keep, if you landed long on the carrier and they didn't let the barrier down, the barrier stand up here and you're going to run into it, like they had edge windshield. That'll stop the cable, have the cable right there and cut it, had a life blade on it.
Huh.
So that was to protect the pilot, you might say.
Yeah.
But we decided, I didn't decide, it was somebody in the squadron decided to extend the range. We got another F2H, and we had banner tow pods that we could put on any airplane. So we put one of these banner tow pods on there and would run the cable in that out with a ring hook on it and fly it out in the front airplane, and this airplane would put this hook down separately from the gear. We rigged it up so this would come down by itself and put that hook down and turned it around, mounted it the other way so the hook was this way, and the other airplane in front would have this tow cable out with a ring on it. When this airplane would fly in and hook it just like you do air refuel and everything today. And when he hooked the cable, while this airplane would shut down the engines, and the front airplane would tow this Banshee. And we found out, I can't remember the numbers, but it seemed like we could tow it about 800 miles, and the front airplane could then get back, have enough fuel to get back to base. Then he could go ahead, crank his engine up and go straight ahead and increase the range of the Banshee by maybe 1,000 miles. I don't remember exactly, a long ways.
And the Banshee was a twin engine, it looks like.
Yeah, Banshee was a twin engine airplane. So you didn't mind losing, you didn't hate to lose one engine. You hate to lose one engine on an F9.
Were the engines all pretty much the same? Was it the same engine in most of these, like the T-33 and the F-86 and these planes, these Navy planes? Or were they just a whole bunch of different kinds?
I'm not going to name airplanes because I don't know them very well, but a few of them. But in the early days, the Neen engine was the primary engine for Air Force and Navy, and it was a U.S.-built copy of Whittle's engine in England. Mm-hmm. He had sent an engine, England had sent an engine and all the details over, and we copied it and developed it a little bit. It was better than the Whittle engine. It was bigger and better, but that was what it was. And then gradually, some U.S. manufacturers figured out the process and started making the engines. This airplane didn't have an engine. It had a Westinghouse, I'm pretty sure, J-34 Westinghouse in each wing, which was a smaller diameter axial flow engine, whereas the Neen was a centrifugal flow, big diameter engine. And they gradually spread out to manufacturers and decided who was making the best engines. But I would say the engine situation was very flexible all through the 50s. Maybe by the latter 50s they had settled down a little bit, but they were experimenting with engines and airplanes all through the 50s.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? The big ace in the Pacific and the P-38.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you said it, I got a mental block. But
me too. I know his name well.
Yeah.
But anyhow, he went to work for Lockheed, and very shortly after coming back from the Pacific, and he was killed in a F-80, P-80 on takeoff out of Burbank because his engine quit on him. And he just went in, and he flew in, but just the crash killed him.
Bong.
Bong, yeah. I kept trying to say Boington, but it was Bong, wasn't it? Yeah, Bong. Dick Bong. There he survived all the combat everybody had. They came there to mess around with test line and got killed in a hurry.
Yeah. So, I think, isn't the Skyraider one of your 1,000-hour planes?
Yeah.
These are actual, these aren't model airplane kits. These are given by manufacturers.
That's right. This is set on the stand here, Douglas Skyraider.
Right. This Lockheed C5A weighs about 10 pounds at least. It's all metal.
Yeah, Lockheed didn't give me that either. I had to buy that at the employees' store in Lockheed.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Gene and the kids bought that for me
Oh.
one Christmas. I think it cost $50 at the time. It's cheap today.
Yeah.
It's a real nice model.
Yeah, it's sure
It
heavy.
weighs plenty, that's right. But then it's heavy. It's a big airplane.
Yeah.
Of course, it's lighter plastic, that's right.
Now, when you flew the Skyraider, you were flying it in this VX3 squadron?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Were you also, were you ever in the war theater of Korea, or were you always over Atlantic City?
Atlantic City.
Yeah. But I've got pictures of you landing on a carrier, so you must have done carrier work there.
Yeah, oh yeah, we had to go out on the carrier and do carrier. Some of our project work I had to be off carriers, like
Yeah.
when we made that long one, it was off carrier in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, that's one of my favorite airplanes. I've always loved that airplane because it's so utilitarian.
Well, until I got into the AD, the F6 was my most wonderful airplane.
Yeah.
But when I got the AD, I changed my view completely. Having flown the P-51 and the Corsair and the F6, they were all really good fighter airplanes. World War II, P-47. The AD was bigger than any of them, and faster than any of them, and better than any of them in every way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not every way. There's one little thing about the AD was the gear. You know, landing gear's got a gear and a oleo that goes up and down, and a little spring around it to keep the wheel lined up. But that little spring or the mounting of it was weak, and if you lock the brakes on the AD and try to run the engine up, check the mags, if you let it roll a little bit and twist on one wheel, it would twist that spring and just break it right off.
Oh.
And the wheel just be flopping around anywhere it wanted to
It
go.
was a
with
castering
free
wheel from that point
yeah.
on.
Uh-huh. That was a weakness. Now, I know another weakness too, long as I think about it. The engine mount was a big rounded cast piece thing, and it would occasionally, on hard landings, carrier landings, it'd just break off, the whole engine and all. Engine was mighty heavy, I'm not surprised at that. But that's the only two things I can think of about it.
Well, it had a monster engine, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it had a 3350,
Was that 2 rows or 3?
2 rows.
2 rows.
No, that wasn't a 2-row engine. Maybe I'm wrong about the number. I think the 33, I'm confused a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I better not answer both those questions. I'm not sure. It wasn't a 2-row though. I mean a 3-row, 4-row. That was called the corncob engine, a 4-row engine.
Yeah.
But this was a 2-row engine, which the R2800 was a 2-row engine. All the big engines were 2 rows at least.
Yeah.
But the AD was just a super flying airplane, and it had something that all those fighter airplanes didn't have. It had the big dive brakes. This whole side of the fuselage right here, nearly from the wing back to the tail, right there on the side, and on the bottom, the big flat bottom all the way. It had 3 pieces there, the one here, one there, and one there with dive brakes. And you had a little lever over here on the left side. You pull that back, and it'd open them any amount you moved, or full open. And it was just made the airplane so facile, I guess is a good word, maneuverable. You could steam up into joining formation with another airplane, another group of airplanes. You're coming from the rear, catch up, and going fast trying to catch up. You had to be very careful not to run right in the middle of them. With most airplanes, you had to start slowing down, and ease up there, But you could, with this airplane, you could just drive up there 100, 150 knots faster and get right in here and pop that dive brake and it'd stop right there. Just like putting out an umbrella. I mean, it'd stop you. And that made it so handy. My favorite join-up procedure after that became coming in fast and low, come right up in here and pop the dive brake and roll over and end up on this side That's my way to join up all the time. That became a kind of a habit pattern
Yeah.
that I enjoyed, which you could do with the AD, you couldn't do with anything else.
Well, that plane, it's very misleading looking at a model in your hands. You can get somewhat of a clue by looking at the cockpit in comparison to the rest of the plane.
Yeah,
It's a very big
It's
airplane.
a big airplane, carried a big load, but it had terrific performance if you didn't have its load. But many times off the carrier, we would take off. I believe the AD minimum empty weight, I believe, was 14 something pounds. The F6 gross weight was 15, and the empty weight on the AD was 14 something right in there. But it would carry more than 14,000 pounds of wing mounted weight.
Carry more than its own weight?
It would carry more than its own weight. It was famous for that.
Huh.
And the Air Force and Navy both, they carried more than its own weight. It would carry more fuel than you can imagine. It had a great big, I think 300-gallon center tank that hung right under here, and about a 150-gallon tank on each wing. It'd go forever
Yeah.
if the oil lasted.
A good ground support plane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just a great airplane, and that's evident. Anybody can see that by the statistics, because everybody used them once they came out, and they kept making different versions. I think they finally went from an 81 to I believe they got to an 87 or something like that. A lot of different models. Everybody bought them all around the world. Everybody had good success flying them because they were so easy to fly. And of course Navy, because the wings folded.
Mm-hmm.
And the stories I've already told you, that 2 times people have taken off in the AD with the wings folded.
Yeah.
Because they folded about a little less than center span right along here, and they left a little stub here. And with it has so much power and a lightweight, why it flew. In 2 cases we know of. Two
And one of them
documented
ended up in a crash, but the other one he landed.
Yeah, that's right.
Amazing. Yeah, I still find that phenomenal. I can't imagine how you could do that. But
No, wait a minute, that's not right. One of them crashed, and the other one, the guy jumped out,
oh, okay,
but he lived through it.
okay.
But the airplane didn't.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see, what was the Sky Knight is another one of my favorite. That little Delta plane. Do
What'd
remember
you
that?
say, it was a Delta wing?
Yeah. Am I thinking of the wrong plane?
Yeah, it's not a Delta wing.
Well, it's a small plane.
Yeah, no, that's not the Sky Knight.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different plane.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Douglas
Yeah,
little airplane. I know. What
it's a
was
Sky
it?
something.
A4.
Yeah, the A4.
AD4 or
Yeah.
D4. What was it? Something 4.
You know when
I think A4.
during that period, and when I was in the Navy, it seemed like half of the airplanes had 4 in the number.
Yeah, get a period there where
There was a
everything runs
4 on
together.
all of them.
Of course, they also kept changing the categories and the way they numbered everything, so you have to keep up with the whole thing. But the guys that deal with the history is pretty good. Have a real ball of wax to figure out there.
Yeah. So that's the Sky Warrior.
Sky Warrior.
Yeah, that was the
I
A3,
don't
A4.
think so.
Sky Knight? No,
Sky Knight
it was
was a great
Sky
big,
something.
Sky Knight was a great big twin-engine airplane by Douglas, I believe, but big airplane. The little airplane, I don't know, Roy. I'm just not coming to the top here.
Yeah.
But it was a great airplane. You're right there
Yeah.
too.
Because the Skyraider was actually called an R4D for a while, wasn't it?
No.
What's the R4D?
is
Oh, that's a
C-47.
That's right. That's right.
There again, we got Air Force and Navy, and sometimes Marines. The same airplane with different names.
Yeah.
Quite a bunch of them.
Anything about looking at those models that makes you think of something you might want to talk about?
No, not right offhand.
Okay, let me take a checkpoint here.